Hi everybody, my name is Desiree. Today I'm going to guide you through a 30-minute power class today. It's going to be more of a core ab-inspired class. So throughout our yoga practice, we're going to throw in some extra core workouts into our normal practice. Some things that I would suggest before you start is to make sure you maybe have a towel, grab a little bit of water, and if there are any props that you like to use during your normal practice, maybe a block or blankets, anything that you might normally use, I would suggest that you get them now. When you're ready, you're just going to meet me here in a seated position on your mat. You can place your palms either face down. If you're needing a little bit of grounding, maybe your mind is just really wandering and you're having a hard time focusing, try placing your palms facing down. Or if you're needing a little bit of energy today, place your palms facing up and just close your eyes and just notice your breath. No need to control it right now. Just simply notice what your breath feels like and notice what your body is feeling right now. We'll start with a couple cleansing breaths, taking a deep breath in through your nose to fill up and send it out your mouth. One more time, deep breath in through the nose and out your mouth. From here, we'll cultivate our Ujjayi pranayama, breathing in through your nose and out your nose. So you'll start by taking a deep breath in through the nose. You seal your lips, constrict the muscles in the back of your throat, and then breathe back out your nose. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed here. Again, in through your nose and out your nose. Continue with this breath throughout the remainder of our class. This breath is known as our breath of victory. It helps us to remain focused in the moment, helps us to get through our practice. It's a breath that we can come back to in any time in our lives, not just during our yoga practice. It also helps to keep the heat that we're building in our bodies. So if you're really wanting to heat up your class today, I really encourage you to use this breath. Before we begin, I would like to ask you to think about something that you're working on. We usually set an intention at the beginning of class. Today I'm going to ask you to set an intention for yourself. Something that maybe that's been weighing on your mind, something that you've really been working on. Just bring that to mind. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Send it out the mouth, just sending that intention out into the universe. And before we start, I would like to ask and remind you that throughout our class, you are always welcome to pause this video, come back to child's pose or a resting pose like we're in right now, to simply take a quick break if you need to and come back to the video at any time that you're ready. So please listen to your body, take care of yourselves today, and also on the other side, if you're wanting to bust out some extra poses that I haven't added into the video, please do so. This is your practice. You have 30 minutes just for yourself. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to come to a tabletop position by coming to our hands and our knees. You'll stack your shoulders over top of your wrists and your hips stack over top of your knees. If you look back through your knees, you should see that your feet just kind of disappear behind your knees. So we'll start with some cat-cows on your inhale, cow pose, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, cat pose, rounding your spine, your chin comes to your chest. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Continue in the same motion, adding any extra movement that you'd like, maybe adding hip circles in one direction and then in the other. Just make sure that you match one side to the other. I'm just really trying to let our bodies get warmed up right now. Some people like to take shoulder dips or just send their hips back towards their heels, kind of like a child's pose. Just find what feels good to your body. Taking just 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, meet me back in tabletop position. So as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be more ab inspired, trying to really get a good core workout today. So the first thing that we're gonna do to focus in on that is something called bird dog. You're gonna send your left leg towards the back of the mat, toes are flexed down towards the mat, and then extend your right arm out in front of you towards the wall or whatever's in front of you. Option is stay right here. You're gonna feel this in your core, really engage your core. And if you wanna take it a little step further, you can go take it to crazy cat by bringing your elbow to your knee, rounding your spine. Inhale as you release, exhale as you round in. Do 3 more rounds on this side. And then just meet me back in tabletop when you're ready, and we'll take it over to the other side. So this time you send your right foot to the back of the mat, toes are flexed down towards the mat, left arm extends this time. Again, you can stay right here or take it to crazy cat by rounding the elbow to the knee. Inhale as you extend, exhale as you round. Take 3 more rounds. And then meet me back in neutral tabletop when you're ready. All right. So we're gonna take our first down dog of class, spreading your fingertips out wide like starfish on the beach. Curl your toes under, and then you're gonna send your hips up nice and high towards the ceiling, sending your heels down towards the mat. Now your heels may not touch right now, and that's perfectly fine. This is the beginning of class, and you might not be in a very warm room, so that's gonna make a difference. Usually in a power class, the room's heated about 85 to 95 degrees, so it makes a big difference. So please listen to your body if you're used to practicing in that heated room. Add a little movement by bending one knee, then the other. This pose can be really strong on your shoulders. If you ever need to come down to tabletop to take a break, you're always welcome to do so. But from here, come back to stillness and take a nice slow walk to the very top of your mat. Going into ragdoll position, your feet will be hip distance apart. In order to check this, you can take your fists in between your feet. This would be hip distance for your body. We tend to go a lot wider than we think, so this is just one nice way that you can check. And then you just let your head hang heavy, your hands can grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. Remember, you can bend your knees as much as you need to here. If you're feeling it in your lower back, or if you're really feeling it in your hamstrings, bend your knees a little bit. And then when you're ready, come back to stillness, releasing your hands down to the mat and toe heel your feet together to touch. Your big toes will touch, and you might have a slight sliver going down your feet. That's perfectly fine, or you can always keep a little bit of space. Find what feels comfortable to you. From here, roll up one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to standing position. So we're gonna flow through a sun A. We'll take the first round nice and slow, taking 3 to 5 breaths for each pose. And then we'll take one round where we move one breath to one movement. So we're gonna start off with sun A. Inhale, mountain pose, circling your arms up overhead, grounding down into all 4 corners of your feet. Tilting your pelvis under slightly to create a neutral spine. Gazes forward, pinkies are turned in slightly, shoulders away from the ears. On your inhale, gaze up towards the ceiling, and exhale, take a back bend, as big or as little as you'd like, maybe cactusing your arms. Find what feels good. Really send your chest up towards the ceiling and your hips press out towards the wall in front of you. Inhale, rise back that mountain pose, and exhale, swan dive down to standing forward fold. Your fingertips can touch the mat. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. I like to pedal out my legs here in the first round, just bending one knee then the other. And then we come back to stillness and inhale, halfway lift. Your hands come to your shins or your thighs. You're like a diver on the edge of a diving board right now, squeezing your shoulder blades back. Your gaze is towards the top of your mat, long line of energy from the crown of your head all the way back through your tail. One thing that you can do in this pose to get a little extension down your legs is just to shift forward onto the balls of your feet just slightly. Your heels are still connected to the mat. Inhale, and on your exhale, plant your palms, and we're going to step back to our first plank of class. Now, plank is definitely a strong pose. You can always come down to your knees. Anytime we go through a chaturanga, you can always come down to your knees, or you can always skip through it all together and just go back to downward facing dog. But I'm going to show you what a regular chaturanga would look like. So we're going to press the back up towards the ceiling, heels pressed back towards the wall behind me. On my inhale, I shift forward slightly 2 inches, and exhale, lower down halfway. My arms are squeezed into my sides, 90-degree angle in my arms. Then inhale, upward facing dog. Tops of the feet are pressed into the mat. Shins and thighs are lifted off the mat, shoulders away from the ears. And then we exhale to downward facing dog. Take 3 to 5 breaths here. Again, feeling free to add in any movement that feels good to you here. We'll take that one more time, moving 1 breath to 1 movement. At the bottom of your exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, rise up mountain. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, cycle through high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, take 3 to 5 breaths here. And then when you're ready, come back to stillness. At the bottom of your exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Moving into sun B, we're going to do the same thing. First round will be nice and slow. Second round, 1 breath to 1 movement. So in this chair pose, I want you to look over top of your knees. Can you see your toes? If not, push that booty back a little bit more. This is a very strong pose. You should be feeling it here in your thighs. Really sink deep as much as you can. Inhale. And on your exhale, send your arms back towards the wall behind you, maybe lifting up onto the balls of your feet for drinking bird. Get another core challenge here. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, cycle through high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, starting with the right leg. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, round tuck and curl for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. This is the first time that we're here. Let's align this pose. Right knee is stacked over top of the right ankle. Left leg is strong and straight. Heel is lifted up off the mat. Really squeeze the left glute to help you find your balance. Gaze is forward, and you want to really work on squaring your hips to the wall in front of you by pushing your left hip forward and pulling your right hip back. All right, now this next part will be challenging. We're going to take it into warrior 3. So on your inhale, shift forward slightly into the right foot and shoot your arms out towards the wall in front of you. Left leg lifts. Body is parallel to the mat as best as you can get it. Gaze is down towards the mat. Inhale, rise up warrior 2. So the back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Right knee still stacked over top of the right ankle. Gaze is forward, arms are at shoulder height. Maybe just glancing back to make sure that it's at shoulder height, or taking those robot arms. Really feeling the strength in your legs. Try rounding your knee towards the right side of the wall. Inhale. And on your exhale, extended side angle. Arms can come to 6 and 12, or maybe take that front arm, your right arm, resting it on your thigh. Option to stay here, or maybe taking the left arm and extending it over your head towards the wall in front of you. Really feeling the stretch go down the side of your body, the left side. One more breath, inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Check the lunge in your front knee. We tend to lose it. Give me just a little bit more lunge. Back arm is light as a feather going down your back leg. Gaze is lifted towards the ceiling. Squaring your shoulders towards the left wall. Inhale and exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Step back and cycle through high to low, maybe keeping the right leg lifted for one leg chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Going to the left side, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, round tuck and curl for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. So again, this time it's the left knee stacked over top of the left ankle. Right leg strong and straight, heel lifted off the mat, squaring the hips. So this time you're pulling the left hip back as you press your right hip forward. Try to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. And on your exhale, step forward into the left foot for warrior 3. Arms extend out. This time it's the right leg lifting, parallel to the mat. And then inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Just like we did on side 1, this time left knee stacked over top of the left ankle. Back foot parallel to the back edge of your mat. And just check your arms, making sure that they are at shoulder height. Inhale. And on your exhale, taking it to extended side angle, take the variation that you did on side 1. Keep breathing. One more breath, inhale, exhale. On your inhale, reverse your warrior, check the lunge, make sure you didn't lose it. Back arm light as a feather going down the back leg. Left arm lifted towards the ceiling. Fingertips are glued together, gaze is lifted. Squaring your shoulders towards the right side of the wall this time. Inhale. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down. This time you might keep your left leg lifted for that one leg chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll run through that whole thing one more time, moving one breath to one movement. At the bottom of your exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, chair plank. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, cycle through high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Going with the right leg, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step back, cycle through high to low. Or just meet me in down dog. However you'd like to get there. One more side. Inhale, left leg high, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg high, exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step back, cycle through high to low. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job, everybody. At the bottom of your exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Grab a little water. Remember, we're not going to take too long to break here. So we are going to work on a little bit extra core work here, maybe a little bit of balance. So whenever you're ready, if you have a block, great. If not, maybe just use your towel, or you really don't even have to have one, that's perfectly fine. So I'm just going to bring my feet to the mat and lower all the way down onto my back. You can hug your knees into your chest, maybe rock side to side. And then we're going to do something that my favorite yoga teacher, Janet, likes to do. She does suitcases. So we send our legs up nice and high. You can use a block, you don't have to use it, or you could even use a towel. You don't have to have it. So the block is in our hands or your towel. We're going to send the block up towards the feet, grabbing the block with the feet and lower down. Nice and slow core control. Inhale as you come up, exhale, lower. So you're just going to keep taking the block from your feet to your hands. You've got about 30 seconds here. This might be a spot where you try using a cleansing breath. Just release a little bit of heat here. Just make sure you're breathing. Remember, if you want more, you can always pause this video and take any of these poses for a little bit longer. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Hugging your knees back into your chest. Maybe rocking side to side. And then we're going to reverse that rock, rolling up and down the spine 3 times, meeting in boat pose. Getting ready to do one of my favorites. So a regular boat pose might look like this. Your toes can be on the mat. Your hands kind of come behind your knees. You could stay right here. The one thing I want you to notice is your back. We tend to want to slouch and round the spine. I want you to really sit up nice and tall, creating a nice long neutral spine. Stay here, or maybe adding just a little bit of extra challenge by lifting your legs off the mat parallel to the mat. Your hands might extend out, or you could take your best boat, the most strongest boat, by extending your legs. And then just come back down, feet on the mat. So now my favorite is where we're going to take high boat, low boat. If this is not for you, you can always do something else. Do what works for you. So in order to do high boat, low boat, you're going to bring your legs off the mat, extend down towards the mat, and reach back up. Lower, lift. Keep breathing. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lower down on the mat, rock side to side. And now listen carefully. We're going to rock up and down the spine 3 times, but we're going to land in a standing position. So get to standing however you need to do it. I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to round up, come up to my heels, pressing with my legs all the way up to standing. Just a little added extra core that work there. All right, so once you're here in a standing position, we're going to do just a little bit of balance work. Our core is not just working our abdominals, it's not just having a six-pack. It is our entire midsection. The back, all of our abdominals, our whole midsection is part of our core. So we're going to work some balance poses here. We're going to start with eagle pose. So in order to do this, we go into chair pose. So just like we did earlier, sitting back and reaching high. We're going to take the right arm underneath the left. Palms come together to touch. So you might stay right here, or taking it even further, taking the right leg, lifting it over top of the left. You might possibly be able to bring your toes around your calf. It's not in my practice yet. And some people like to fly their eagle by bringing their elbows to the knees. Find something that's not moving, your drishti gaze. Maybe it's a spot on the wall, whatever you have. And then slowly raise back up, unwind, and come back to chair pose. We'll do it on the other side. This time, left arm comes underneath the right. Palms come together to touch once again. And this time, the left leg lifts over the right, really squeezing the thighs together, sitting deep into your chair. And if you flew your eagle on side 1, go ahead and do so here on side 2. Keep breathing. And then inhale, rise back up, unwinding and coming to mountain pose. So this is one of my favorites, it's dancer pose. We're going to bring the right elbow down to the right hip, palms facing up, kicking the right foot into the seat, reaching back and grabbing the inside arch of your foot. Now, plenty of options here. Some people like to kick the foot and then lower down. I kind of like to do both at one time. I'm going to extend and kick my foot as I lower my upper body forward, keeping my gaze lifted, shining the heart forward. And then you'll come out of it the same way that you came in. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. This time bringing your left elbow to your left hip, Right arm extended up towards the towards the ceiling. Kicking your left foot into your seat, reaching back and grabbing the inside arch of your foot. And do the same thing that you did on side one. Begin to kick and lower. Keep your gaze lifted. And again, find that drishti gaze, that focal point, something that's not moving. And then slowly rise back up. Meeting me at the top of your mat. If you need to grab a quick sip of water, go ahead and do so. Right, we'll float through sun A like we did at the beginning. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. Cycle through high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. All right, starting with the right leg. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Getting some more core work in here. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Take the inversion if you know it. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. And just windshield wiper the knee back and forth for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. So this time the left foot is at a 45-degree angle pointed towards the left corner of your mat. Right knee stacked over top of the right ankle. Sometimes you need to shorten your stance just a little bit to do this. And arms extend up towards the ceiling. Squaring your hips, squaring your shoulders, like we did in that crescent lunge earlier. On your next exhale, open up warrior two. We've been here before. Inhale, straighten your right leg, and exhale, triangle pose. Arms come to 6 and 12. I want you to pretend you're up against a wall. Your back is straight and flat up against that wall as much as you can. So you might have to raise up just a little bit in order to make that happen. Gaze is lifted. Now listen for the change here. We're going to keep that front leg straight and reverse our triangle, just like a reverse warrior, except the front leg is straight, back arm light as a feather, right arm lifted towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, cartwheel your hands down. You're going to put a bend in that front knee. Cycle through high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do all of that on side one. Remember, we started with some core work, so we're doing it on side two. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to left elbow, maybe doing the inversion. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, and windshield wiper for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, left leg high. And exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. This time it's the right foot at a 45-degree angle pointing towards the right corner of the mat. Square your hips and shoulders. Keep breathing. Inhale, open up, warrior two. Go ahead and straighten that front leg and exhale, triangle pose. Think about what we said on side one. Back is flat, like you're up against a wall. Gaze can be lifted. Keep breathing. Keep your front leg straight and inhale, reverse your triangle. This time your left arm is straight, fingertips glued together, back arm light as a feather going down your back leg. Inhale and exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step back, cycle through high to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we're going to lower to plank position and lower all the way down to your belly. Again, this would be a time to grab a little water, towel off. Not a lot of breaks here, but remember, you can always pause and take that break as you need to. All right, so we're going to do just a little bit of spine work, and then we'll cool it down. So we're going to start off with what we call locust pose. Your chin is to the mat. Your arms come out like a letter T. You're going to lift your head up, arms up, and legs up off the mat. For an added challenge to working that core a little bit more, extend your arms out in front of you, maybe taking it into like a swimmer position, kicking your arms and legs. Keep breathing, you've got this. And then release. Your cheek can come to the mat. Maybe put a bend in your knees and just windshield wiper your feet from side to side. And then one more time, bring your chin to the mat. We're going to take it into floor bow. You'll kick your feet into your seat, reach back, grab your ankles to your feet. And on your inhale, you'll kick your feet up towards the ceiling as you lift your gaze towards the ceiling. Remember to keep breathing. And release. Opposite cheek to the mat, whatever feels good. And then from here, we're going to push back up to tabletop position. And take it to downward facing dog. All right, so we're definitely going to cool it down now, taking it to half pigeon. If you prefer to do supine pigeon on your back, please feel free to go ahead and take that pose. I am going to cue half pigeon today though. Inhale your right leg high, exhale right knee to right wrist. Your right shin comes parallel to the top edge of your mat as best as you can get it. Flex your toes back towards your face, square your hips, square your shoulders, and then you lower all the way down to your mat. Forearms come to the mat, just let your head hang heavy. One thing I want you to do is kind of check back to make sure your toes are pointing straight to the back wall behind you. Just breathe. This really opens up our hips. You should feel it in your hip flexor here. As long as it's not pinchy or painful, it's perfectly fine. Now, if you are feeling any pinching pain, I ask you just to slowly come out of any of the poses that you need to and take it to a different pose that will work better. We typically hold this pose for about a minute on each side, but because this is a shorter class, I'm only going to do about 30 seconds. So feel free again to pause if you'd like to take a little bit longer. We'll slowly make our way back up onto the palms, curling the left toes under, sending the right leg high. Well, you're welcome to take hip circles, bending your knee, and just moving in one direction and the other. Or if it's in your practice to flip your dog, you're welcome to do that as well. And you'll just meet me back in downward facing dog whenever you're ready. Maybe you're noticing that your heels are reaching the mat a little bit more now. And if they're not, that's still okay. We'll do the same thing on the other side, inhaling the left leg high. Exhale, left elbow to left wrist. Check your back foot, make sure it's pointing back, squaring your hips and your shoulders, and then lowering all the way down onto your forearm. Sometimes this is where the Ujjayi pranayama really comes into play. These can be the more difficult poses, even though they seem easy. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our hips. So just really use that Ujjayi breath to breathe your way through these poses. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And make your way back up on your palms. This time you're curling the right toes under, sending the left leg high. And again, take hip circles, flip your dog, whatever you did on side one. And then just meet in downward facing dog. From here, we'll walk to the top of the mat, take a seat, and just extend your legs off your mat. Getting ready for a forward fold. Just make sure you have enough space behind you that you can come down to Shavasana in here just a little bit. Reaching your arms overhead, inhale towards the ceiling and exhale, folding forward. Your hands might reach your calves, your ankles, or maybe you can reach down and grab your toes. No judgment, just find the spot that feels good to you. With each inhale, you lift a little, and each exhale, you fold over. Maybe bring your forehead to your shins. And then inhale, rise up. And with core control, slowly lower all the way down onto your mat, taking a good morning stretch, reaching your arms overhead. And feet extend out in front of you like you're being pulled in both directions. And then you'll hug your knees into your chest. Now there are a lot of other poses and stretches that you could do here. If you're looking for a little bit more stretch, please take any other poses, maybe happy baby, shoulder stand, whatever's in your practice. But for today, we're gonna go ahead and take it to Shavasana by bringing your arms and legs onto the mat, opening your legs and arms up nice and wide. Close your eyes. Release all control of your breath. Just let your entire body melt into the mat all the way from the crown of your head down through your toes. Stay right where you're at. I'm going to ask that you stay in this Shavasana as long as you'd like. I am going to end here though for today. I'd really like to thank each and every single one of you for showing up on your mat today, doing something for your mind, your body, and your soul. Before I leave, I would ask that you like this YouTube channel, subscribe to us, and share with your friends. We would really appreciate the support. From my heart to yours, namaste.